Boker Tov, Chazkim Beruchim. So it's been a very, very mild fall, autumn season. But even already on this Shabbat, perhaps you broke open, perhaps your winter coat is a little bit chillier than it's been. It's a good time to take a look at your Shabbat coat for many people, myself included. Your Shabbat coat, your outer coat, your overcoat is a little bit different than perhaps your weekday one. People wear longer coats on Shabbat, it's a little bit more formal. There is something to be concerned about when it comes to the halachot of Tzitzit. Shulchan Aruch writes that if you have a garment which is petuchim min hatzdadim lemata, if you have garments which are open, which basically means that there is like a slit in the garment, and therefore on account of the slit, yesh lahem arba kanfot letzad mata. So you have now the two front corners, but because of the slit, you also really now have two back corners as well. Even though the garment is closed, sealed on tam, if most of the garment, you're going to measure this, literally take a tape measure and measure the length of the garment, im rubo patuach, if most of the garment is open, so you have a case where the slit, let's say in the back of the coat, goes up more than halfway, 51%, more than halfway of the garment, chayav, it's obligated in tzitzit. Many suits also do have a slit in the back, but it doesn't go all the way, or halfway I should say, up the garment, the distance of the garment, and therefore not be chayav. When you have this more commonly, those Rabbanim that wear the special frock jacket, which is reserved for the Rabbanim, so they do have this, and it's yadua that they round off a corner in the back. However, this could apply to anybody if you have such a long Shabbat cone with that slit in the back. So what is the Eitzah, as we mentioned just now, a second ago? If you take your tape measure at home and you measure your garment and you see that in fact the slit in the back goes up all the way, or halfway again, I should say, then you just have, the next step is to take a look. Suit jackets very often have rounded corners in the front. So if it's a rounded corner, even though you have the slit going up, then it's patur. But if you happen to have a suit jacket or a coat which is styled that it has square corners in the front, and now you have two square corners in the back, then you have to do something to remove the obligation of tzitzit, which would be also to bring it to the tailor and have it rounded. If it is 50%, mamash, it's on the halfway mark, in that case you put on tzitzit, you would have to put on tzitzit without a beracha, and you won't be allowed to wear the tzitzit in Reshut HaRabim on Shabbat because they might not really be required. So in case there would be no eruv, there would not be batel to the garment, there would be hotza'ah. It's a prominent thing that tzitzit are considered more prominent than the coat itself, and therefore a person would be in a little bit of a pickle in that situation. Therefore, again, the proper eitzah would be to bring the coat to a tailor and round off the back corner to remove the four corners. Rabbi Hanan Kasher Omer, Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu lezakot et Yisrael lefikach.